My name is Carson Arthur, and as a landscape designer, taking on residential challenges are my bread and butter, which is why I am so excited about the transformation that's about to take place here at the Griffin House. With the help of the Green Forest team, we're about to take this neglected space and turn it into a functioning, aesthetically beautiful, and most importantly, an environmentally friendly backyard oasis.
The Griffin Center is an accredited mental health center which has been in operation since 1975. The program we operate here on Kempsel is called the Kempsel program, and it's a transitional program for adults with developmental delay and they have an emotional, behavioral, or psychiatric issue.
The space is used now for disposing of waste. The outdoors is abysmal.
The space really isn't conducive to being able to work with the clients very well.
Our goal is to have them live more independently within the community. I think Carson has a great understanding of what my clients and my program needs, and I think he's really got a great vision for that space. Well, this is our oversized deck.
Wow, that barely seats 4 people.
Yeah.
And that kills me because you have such a huge space out here.
Yeah.
Well, how do you actually want to use the space, first of all?
I'd really like to see this space used as part of the treatment for our clients. Being able to utilize our backyard for a place where they can socialize and learn how to be around other people is really important. So things like being able to grow things, something like a vegetable garden.
There are a lot of things in a vegetable garden that are going to really dictate the rest of the space.
Yeah.
The trees kind of work counterproductive to that.
Right.
This one is definitely up there in age.
This particular apple tree has far exceeded its expected lifespan, which actually makes for a dangerous situation. In a heavy wind, those branches could fall off and really hurt somebody underneath.
And that looks like a U behind it. So
yeah.
I would take out both of those, but in the design, I'd want to replace those. Is that okay?
That's great.
All right, beautiful shed here.
Right now, that's where we kind of hold all the recyclables.
Really? I also noticed that you had lattice panels on the back fence.
There's a park that backs onto the backyard and it's public access.
Okay, we definitely need to remove some of the trees, lighten it up a little bit with the intent that we're going to grow vegetables. I also want to go after the little deck. I'd like to remove it and replace it.
Oh, that'd be great.
While we're at it, let's just remove the grass and we'll replace the whole thing.
Perfect.
Good, because this is a backyard and that's what I do best.
Great.
This is the design that I'm proposing for the space. It's very different. This is your new deck.
Wow, it's much bigger than I thought.
Well, it's pretty much the length of the house.
I mean, that kind of space will be great for our staff and clients to kind of spend some time together.
This is going to be a new interlock patio that runs the whole length of the side of the yard.
And what are these?
They replace your shed. We're going to put a unit in here which actually holds the recycling bins. Then this building here is going to be a shed.
And that's for storage.
Just for storage.
Perfect.
And then these 3 right here are organic matter composters. I think you need to start a composting program. They're also going to be very important because this is going to be your new vegetable garden.
Nice.
A vegetable garden to feed that many people has to be large to be functional, and if it's big, it's going to dominate the landscape design. To overcome that challenge, I'm going to take my cues from this community vegetable garden, where they've included trellises and different types of plants, and more importantly, different styles of fencing to really separate the space. Basically, they've given this space personality. I want people to see the garden for the very first time and immediately be happy.
Oh, wow, that's great.
I also wanted to ask you how you feel about fruit, because I'm going to give you an option that's definitely lower maintenance and you'll be able to grow fruit, but it won't take a lot of effort on your part.
Yeah, no, it sounds great.
Good. I'd like to put in 4 panels of lattice. They're going to help with the privacy issue. You have so much space in this yard.
Right.
Let's take advantage of it. But at the back of the garden are where all the actual plants and trees and shrubs are going to go.
It looks great.
Good. Then at this point, we're going to start removing things. The first things to go are those 2 trees and that little tiny deck. Gotta go. You're welcome.
I think Carson's overall design was really well thought out. It really captured all the things that we value as an agency, not just looking at the basic treatment of our clients, but the overall treatment of our clients.
The apple tree is the bigger challenge. It is dominating this entire space.
Trees at times have to be taken out
Yeah.
in certain circumstances are in the wrong spot, wrong species, wrong place.
The environmentalist in me has a real hard time removing trees from any landscape, but I know they're not very healthy and that from a safety point of view, they probably should come out.
So let's remove the cherry tree, the apple tree, the yew, because believe it or not, this is going to be a vegetable garden. With the trees removed and the backyard opened up, it's time to deal with the deck area.
So what I want to do is replace this entire deck, okay? But I still want to start here, okay? But I need it to come out about 12 feet. Across all of this, cover all of this, so it kind of looks like this. So I'd like stairs on this end and at that end too. So I want this section to be dark brown and the railings to match, and then around it I want to do a banding in a lighter color. Because I'm working with a composite decking material, I can match it to the colors of the house. The red for the brick and the tan for the mortar.
I think it's going to look magnificent, but everything is pretty low to the ground here. I think you should pull the deck back and start the steps around there.
So move the stairs back to that?
That's right.
And then what do we do in front of the air conditioner?
We have to camouflage that.
So we do the same lattice panels that I've got planned over there. We do one of them here.
That's no problem. I think it's going to look good with it.
That's what I like to hear. Well, then you can have that design. And this backyard is yours, sir. My biggest challenge with the design at Griffin Center is how to create privacy at the back of the property. I'm going with the Ivory Halo Dogwood and the Diablo 9 bark. Together, they make a fantastic color combination. Now, these aren't the only things that I'm going to use for privacy. In fact, I've got a few other tricks up my sleeve. Now, this is a weeping Norway spruce, and yes, you do still look up at it. Because of the curvature, however, it takes you back down into the garden. The key to making this work, though, is that at the base of the tree, you have to have something that draws the viewer's attention and keeps it there. And that is the last plant on my list. Now in this particular garden, I'm gonna have my evergreens pointing down to roses, because for me, these are showstoppers. In fact, these are the queens of any space. But roses are susceptible to something called black spot, which is a fungal growth that happens when the leaves are wet. So either you plant roses in a windy location, or in the case of the Griffin Center, you always water them from underneath. Is that the rock from under the apple tree?
That's the baby that came out from there.
Wow, spacious. I can't believe the trees are gone.
The Green Force team is helping out Griffin House with their backyard. We've removed a large apple tree, ripped up the weedy grass, and have picked out all of the new plants for the garden. Now I'm off to the lumberyard to find the perfect materials for our new deck. In my design, I'm planning to increase the size of the deck, and because everybody's going to be looking at it, it has to have a very specific image. Now, I could use pressure treated for the top, but pressure treated has that green hue, and that's not the look I'm going for. I will, however, use pressure treated in the substructure of the deck, because for cost, it's the least expensive. But for the surface, I have something else in mind. Cedar is a great alternative to pressure treated because it has a fantastic look, and you can build with it because it's structurally sound. The downside, however, is it takes a lot of care and maintenance to keep this look going. Instead, I need something that's aesthetically beautiful, low maintenance, durable, and environmentally friendly. And for me, there's only one product that meets all of that criteria. I mean, as far as low maintenance, this is awesome. And I am building a deck on the back of a house. That low maintenance is really important. Although that said, that's new.
This is new. This is called Trex Brasilia. It's about 50% plastic, 50% recycled hardwood.
And the fact that it lasts and it does so well, it means you have to replace your deck less often. I was planning to go Madeira in the center, and then I would follow it up with saddle.
With it looking like a hardwood product, they want to have a smooth finish on the surface.
And then all I have to do is pick out railings.
You have the Artisan Series, which is the white, or you can get the Designer Series, which matches the deck board colors.
I think I will go with the Designer Series in the Madeira, okay? But I'd like to use the 6x6 post.
I think it'll look great.
All right, so that's pretty easy then. We just have to write up an order.
Okay.
Is that the rock from under the apple tree?
That's the baby that came out from there.
Oh, I hope that wasn't a problem. So now you're gonna put it in this spot here, but you're digging a hole.
Yeah, I'd like to bury it about 6 inches to blend it into the landscape.
Okay. I'm really glad Cathal was able to incorporate the large boulder into the design. Whenever we find natural materials like that, I like to use them, especially rocks. Well, it looks good. Keep going. I like that spot.
Okay.
As Cathal places the large rock in the garden, the new shed for recycling arrives.
Is this the entire size of it?
Yeah, this is the footprint of it.
What's that sitting on?
So we've got 10 elevator legs under there to level it from the inside and go with the slope.
Now the whole unit is made of cedar.
Right, it's the best wood to use without having to treat it, so you don't have to use any kind of chemicals on it. The sides, we actually leave gaps between all the wood to keep the air circulation going, so it doesn't.
It lets the stink out.
Yeah.
Okay, it's all yours. Thank you, sir. Now that we've removed absolutely everything from this garden, including those 2 trees, we can start to build it back up. And that includes a new deck, a shed, a space for recycling, and some interlock. And while all of that is going on, Simon's gonna be stopping by to check on our progress. I wanted you to see the space because this is sort of halfway.
Wow, spacious. I can't believe the trees are gone.
Once they were gone, it really opened up the space, and now it feels a lot larger.
Oh, the space and the light.
Okay, so we've got interlock down.
You guys work fast.
It wraps all the way around to the shed and to your new storage unit for recycling.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love that.
Coming in through here, this is all going to be sod. They're just putting in the dirt and they're going to level all this off so it's a nice level surface for all the new grass.
Great, awesome.
You see that?
Oh, the T-Rex. It's beautiful. I love the colors.
Yeah.
That deck is stunning and it's huge.
Significantly bigger, yeah. And you'll also notice that the air conditioner has disappeared.
I love it.
And we've matched that screen to the ones over here. Basically, you don't see it yet, but there will be shrubs in behind that. They will grow.
Oh, okay.
All right, I have hand-picked them. And then this.
Is this our garden?
Yeah, so this is the corner of it.
It's a lot bigger than I thought it was.
Yeah. So the vegetable patch will lead into perennial beds, which lead into privacy.
Oh, perfect.
So it's layer on layer, so you get privacy in a bunch of different ways.
Looks great.
We're good to go.
I'm very impressed.
Good. Then we're gonna get this job done, and I promise at the end of it, it'll be a little greener in here.
Oh, perfect. Thanks.
Today is a really busy day at the Griffin Center because we are bringing in the green. And I promise that once this is all done, it's gonna be a green masterpiece.
The Green Forest team and I are creating a backyard oasis for Griffin House. We've ripped out the old backyard and construction has begun on the large 2-tone deck. We've also started tilling the earth for the vegetable garden, and we've built 2 brand new sheds, one for storage and one for recycling. I have a special project planned for the Griffin Center. I want to grow espalier trees as a divider down the center of the vegetable patch. Now, espalier basically means trees pruned in a very specific shape. I want ones that have horizontal branches like these ones here and wire them in that straight formation, and then prune the rest of the branches off so that as the tree grows, these become the dominant growth in the space, and they grow in the straight lines of the fence that I'm trying to create. Now that I have all my trees sourced, I'm heading out to select a set of patio furniture, something specifically that's going to complement the deck.
I really like this material, like the weave.
Isn't it nice? It's a polycarbonate resin. It will withstand the elements, and it's perfect for summer and winter.
I do like the set a lot in the sense that I like the color, and I really do like the weave. I'm a little bit challenged in the deck that I've designed is more lengthwise versus square.
I have something that might work. It's long, an oval table.
Okay, let's go take a look at that.
This is the oval table with seating for 6.
Okay. It looks more like art.
It combines the art and function. The tensility of the fiber is exceptional. It won't ever change in the hot or the cold.
I think I'd like to go with this set. What I do need to do though is find some conversational seating that matches this.
Come over here and I'll show you a couple more pieces. Carson, here are a few more options from the same collection. Each piece is unique, so you just choose the ones that fit the space.
I'm not gonna have a ton of space because I still want to include a barbecue. So 2 chairs, little side table, that dining set, 6 of those chairs. I got a lot of moving to do.
You better get busy.
Today is a really busy day at the Griffin Center because we are bringing in the green, which means we have to have all the plant beds and the vegetable garden prepped. Once the plants go in the ground, we can start putting down all that sod, which means there is a lot of work still to be done. While the Green Forest team is hard at work in the backyard, it gives me a chance to slip out front and work on my own project. What I'm going to do is create espalier trees. To do this project, you need certain materials. I'm going to work with 4x4 posts and fence spikes to hold them in the ground. And then between the 4x4 posts, I'm going to use aircraft cable. Now this aircraft cable is what I'm actually going to train the trees to grow on. So to hold this to the posts, ordinary hooks, crimps, and finally a turnbuckle to make the whole thing nice and tight. Basically, with these trees, I'm actually going to prune them so that they only have branches that run along the wire. So the most important tool in this entire project are my pruning shears. Now that I have my 2 posts in place and my hooks on, I can start running the wire back and forth. Now I'm going to put the first piece of wire on, and then I'm going to plant my trees. I've got pear, I've got apple, and I've got plum. Now you can use any type of tree you want, they just have to have a very specific type of branching habit. Once the trees are in place, I can take the other 2 lines of wire and weave them back and forth in between to make the whole system very strong. strong enough that I can start actually pruning my branches. Basically what happens is as the tree grows, the branches grow in a straight line because they follow the length of cable. In fact, as the trees grow into each other, the branches will actually start intertwining with each other, which is a really cool effect. The only downside of this project is you need to continually prune the trees to maintain the shape. And unfortunately for these little guys, I'm gonna start by cutting the tops off. Well, the garden at Griffin Center is starting to come together, but now you can see some of the design elements as I envisioned them. Underneath our last remaining tree, we've got a ton of perennials that like shade. And those perennials wrap all the way around this space, which happen to be in front of my privacy screens. Now, and behind the privacy screens is a series of shrubs, which means that whole chain link fence will completely disappear. I match those to the deck. The deck itself also has two tones in it. We've got red in the center, which mimics the bricks, and we've got tan from the mortar pulled out in the banding and on the stairs. And once we put furniture on top of it, you're gonna have a fantastic view of the vegetable garden. It has a lot of character, exactly what I was hoping to accomplish. It defines the space and makes it a focal point, especially because it has a new shed behind and the recycling storage unit beside it. The one other thing I want to do in this section here is clean off the interlock and bring in 3 composters. And then to finish off this entire space, all we need is a little bit of sod. Once this is all done, it's going to be a green masterpiece.
Here's your new backyard.
Oh my God. God, I can't believe this. I really can't believe this.
Green Forest has taken an underutilized backyard and created a fantastic space for the clients of Griffin House. Originally, this space was neglected and totally overshadowed by a large overgrown apple tree. But after a complete redesign, it now has a large deck for cooking and dining and a well-defined vegetable garden. There are a few final elements to add, and this space will be ready to show Simon and the families of Griffin House. I'm really glad to be using a Japanese maple in this garden. I really needed this dark shade in the space because it accentuates the color of the deck. Now this is called a Crimson Queen variety and it's a waterfall specimen. So as it grows, the branches cascade down to the ground. It can grow 6 to 8 feet wide, which is actually pretty big. Now this is a dappled willow, but what's unique about it is this is usually a shrub. And they've done that using a standard from an ordinary willow tree and then grafting a shrub on top of it. And what's most exciting for me is these white and green leaves are going to contrast really nicely against the blue of the spruce. Perfect. These composters are ready for recycling and the garden is ready for Simon.
Here's your new backyard.
Oh my God. I'm dumbfounded. Like I really am. I am blown away. I am absolutely stunned at the transformation of that place. Like everything stood out. I can't believe how different it looks.
Well, we had the 2 big trees here that kind of dominated the entire space.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, you didn't have anything.
No.
Remember your deck was actually 2 feet from beside that slider door.
Yeah, it allows for much more space for the staff and clients to sit down and actually have a meal together, which is something we weren't able to do before.
And now you can actually store all that in the wintertime in the shed.
Oh, that's beautiful. It's huge.
It is. It's a lot bigger, and hopefully you'll use it for the right things instead of recycling.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
now you've got recycling.
I love that.
Good.
Love the garden. And it's full. It's huge.
Well, you talked about wanting to use the garden for educational purposes, so I tried to create one that had a little bit of character to it.
I can't believe how much you've put into this space.
The other thing that I would hope you do with the garden itself is start recycling the materials that come out of it.
Yeah.
So I put in composters.
Oh wow, there's 3 of them.
Talked about privacy over here.
Yeah, those panels are stunning.
The shrubs in behind, there's a whole row of several different types.
Also, they'll fill in that space.
They'll fill in that space,
that's
and the
great.
park kind of disappears.
God, I can't believe this. I really can't believe this.
Simon blew me away with the gratitude he expressed. It's just a really fulfilling experience to walk into a backyard and see how much this means to them.
Oh, I mean, I know myself, I feel calmer here. I can't imagine the effect that it's going to have on them. We can be far more creative, we can use space differently, you can teach different skills. That's what the Griffin Center is really all about, is trying to be innovative in terms of our treatment. Something we've never been able to have done before. And I think you have just enriched the lives of our clients.
Thank you. Let's go get them.
Okay.
Come on, you guys. Come on in.
It's a bit of a sanctuary in the backyard for the residents to come out and enjoy themselves. It's quite an oasis back here right now.
To really make use of the actual space now as opposed to before, and we're really going to be able to do a lot of great work out here. It's excellent.
They'll be able to have their families come over, have a nice place to sit down. What I expected and what is, they're two different things. This is incredible.
Whenever I'm designing a backyard, I like to customize the space to the family that's going to use it. But here at the Griffin Center, it's a little bit different because this backyard is being used for rehabilitation and education. So with the help of the Green Force team, we packed a ton of design elements into a small space. But I think we made it not only functional, I think we made this backyard welcoming. My name is Carson Arthur. Thanks for watching.
It's practical, it's modern, and has all the elements you really would like to see in a garden.
Compared to the desert that it was before, it's phenomenal. It's organized, it's cleaned up, they have a garden, a working garden, so it's been a huge improvement.